Look at recent years. Under Phil Spencer's Play Anywhere strategy, Xbox started releasing its exclusive titles on rival hardware. With games like Sea of Thieves charting on the PlayStation Network, industry observers concluded that Microsoft was quietly transitioning away from console manufacturing into a massive third-party software publisher. The ultimate confirmation of this platform surrender was scheduled for the autumn 2026 Sony State of Play. Microsoft was poised to drop a premiere trailer showing Halo Campaign Evolved running natively on a PlayStation 5. Putting Master Chief, the mascot of Xbox since 2001, on a Sony console is the psychological equivalent of raising a white flag. Just 3 weeks before the broadcast, the deal was completely locked in. Microsoft's marketing division securely transferred the high bitrate video assets over to Sony's production team to be slotted into the peak viewership window. Then, at the 72-hour mark, everything froze. Following an emergency board meeting with Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, the newly minted Xbox CEO Asha Sharma ordered an immediate audit and instituted a hard halt on the entire PS5 deployment strategy. With less than 24 hours to go, Microsoft's legal team officially invoked an emergency exit clause. They unilaterally pulled the Halo trailer, leaving Sony executives scrambling backstage to restructure their entire broadcast lineup. Porting a flagship title to millions of PlayStation owners is a guaranteed, highly lucrative software revenue stream. It is a massive PR event. Asha Sharma chose to deliberately blow that up at the last possible second. To understand why, we have to look at the numbers she saw. Inside Redmond, Sharma was scrutinizing deeply alarming telemetry. Xbox hardware sales across European and Asian markets were in freefall. Following consecutive drops in 2024 and 2025, forecasts showed an 18% hardware revenue drop for 2026. Porting games generated software cash, but eroded the hardware ecosystem. If you play Xbox games elsewhere, there's zero incentive to buy the console. To stop this bleeding, Sharma shifted to a highly defensive posture. The first major casualty was the widely anticipated PlayStation 5 port of Gears of War E-Day, which was abruptly canceled despite months of codebase adaptation by developers at the Coalition. Simultaneous development on 2 different console architectures typically forces engineers to split their focus. Every hour spent optimizing for one platform's memory management or asset streaming is an hour taken away from the other. For a project like Gears of War, that often means settling for a feature set that works on both machines, rather than pushing either to its absolute limit. By locking the game strictly to the Series X, Sharma ordered the developers to leverage bespoke hardware, specifically the Xbox Velocity architecture. This is a proprietary data streaming technology designed to push massive asset volumes instantly. Unburdened by the need for PS5 parity, they can push Unreal Engine to its compute limit. Restricting top-tier graphical power to a single console turns these massive games into uncompromised tech demos. It forces consumers who want the absolute best visual fidelity to buy directly into the Microsoft hardware ecosystem. This pivot from sprawling software expansion to hardware defense requires internal restructuring. Inside Microsoft Gaming, the era of bloated expansion for acquired studios is over, replaced by a draconian internal policy Sharma calls the business reset. This shift toward operational efficiency carries an immediate human cost, scheduled to hit the company in a wave by mid-July 2026. Based on leaked internal documentation, the company is preparing to terminate an estimated 1,500 employees across multiple divisions and is rumored to be shutting down at least one underperforming subsidiary studio entirely. These workforce reductions are a mathematical consequence. When you intentionally cut off major cross-platform revenue streams to protect your console, you still have to balance the corporate books. Slashing development overhead is the mechanism required to offset the software money left on the table. The sheer scale of the market Microsoft is deliberately blockading is massive. They are turning their backs on a pool of roughly 60 million PlayStation 5 owners. That missing install base becomes a liquidity problem when you look at the price tag of modern game development. Building a top-tier AAA game in 2026 demands budgets ranging from $200 million to $350 million. This animated flowchart illustrates the squeeze. By ignoring the largest install base in the console market, Immense financial pressure is redirected immediately onto the Xbox Game Pass subscription service. It is now shouldering the entirety of these exorbitant development costs almost single-handedly. This high-stakes gamble has triggered palpable anxiety on Wall Street. With lucrative software contracts suddenly canceled, institutional investors are showing extreme fear over projected contractions in Microsoft Gaming's fourth-quarter profit margins. To offset these self-imposed revenue limits and appease investors, the consumer will face the blowback. Financial analysts project significant price hikes for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate in the near future. Microsoft's 11th hour veto didn't just kill a trailer, it stopped a years-long trend of cross-platform cooperation in its tracks. With ports suspended and diplomatic tensions escalating backstage, the previous strategy of sharing flagship IPs has hit a hard legal barrier. By yanking Halo from the state of play, Asha Sharma made a calculated, painful choice. Microsoft is deliberately swallowing billions in short-term losses, weathering Wall Street panic, and executing mass layoffs today, purely to ensure the Xbox hardware brand survives to fight a grueling war in the 10th console generation.